High Counselor ZYX Theta adjusted his ceremonial robes as he prepared to address the Galactic Assembly from the floating podium of the Great Chamber. After 3 years of careful observation, the Council had finally reached a decision about humanity's place in galactic civilization. Esteemed members of the Assembly, his voice resonated through translation matrices to dozens of species. We are pleased to announce the successful domestication of the species known as humans from the third planet of the Sol system. A ripple of satisfied harmonics passed through the chamber. The Human Integration Project had been watched with great interest, as few species had ever successfully transitioned from their primitive death-world origins to civilized galactic citizenship. Through careful guidance and the establishment of appropriate behavioral parameters, ZYX Theta continued, humanity has demonstrated remarkable adaptability. They have abandoned their warlike tendencies, embraced peaceful coexistence, and shown proper deference to established galactic authority. Ambassador Sarah Chen sat quietly in the designated human section, her expression unreadable as she listened to the Council's declaration. Behind her, the small delegation of human representatives maintained perfect diplomatic composure. As a symbol of their successful integration, ZYX Theta announced, the humans have requested to present a formal envoy to this assembly, a representative of their species, who will demonstrate their commitment to civilized behavior. The chamber's massive doors opened, and a figure emerged that caused every alien present to freeze in evolutionary terror. The wolf padded silently across the chamber floor, its massive form moving with predatory grace. Gray fur rippled over muscles designed for bringing down prey twice its size. Yellow eyes swept the assembly with the calculating gaze of an apex predator assessing potential threats and opportunities. But most disturbing of all was the small translation device attached to its collar, and the fact that it carried itself not as a wild beast, but as a diplomat. Honored Council, the wolf's voice emerged from the translator, causing several species' flight-or-fight responses to trigger simultaneously. I am Alpha 7 Pack Leader of the Northern Territory. I speak for Earth's wolves in response to your declaration of humanity's domestication. Counselor Vex Ka of the Mantari delegation chittered nervously. Ambassador Chun, surely this is some form of primitive ritual? A costume, perhaps? Sarah Chen stood slowly. Counselor, may I introduce one of Earth's indigenous apex predators? He is requested to address the Assembly directly regarding your assessment of our planet's tamed status. This is highly irregular, ZYX Theta protested. Wild beasts cannot address civilized. Wild. Alpha 7's ears perked forward, and his lips pulled back slightly to reveal teeth that had evolved to crush bone. Honored Counselor, I believe there has been a fundamental misunderstanding about the relationship between humans and the other inhabitants of Earth. The wolf began a slow circuit around the chamber's perimeter, causing delegates to unconsciously shift away from his path. You see, when humans developed their civilization, they did something unprecedented in galactic history. Instead of destroying or subjugating Earth's predator species, they formed partnerships. Alpha 7 paused directly in front of the main podium, his yellow gaze fixed on ZYX Theta. For 30,000 years, wolves and humans have worked together. We helped them hunt, they helped us survive. We learned from each other, fought beside each other, evolved together. They didn't domesticate us, we domesticated each other. Ambassador Chen stepped forward. What the Council has observed is not humanity becoming tamed, but humanity choosing to cooperate. Just as we learned to cooperate with Earth's apex predators instead of trying to dominate them. Impossible, declared Admiral Crixval of the Nexri Fleet. Apex predators cannot be reasoned with, negotiated with, or... His words died as Alpha 7's head turned toward him with mechanical precision. The wolf's expression didn't change, but something in those yellow eyes made the Admiral's combat instincts scream warnings. Admiral, Alpha 7 said quietly. Respectfully, you have no idea what you're talking about. The chamber fell silent except for the soft padding of paws as the wolf resumed his circuit. The council declared Earth tamed because you observed humans choosing diplomacy over warfare, cooperation over conquest. But you misunderstood the source of that choice. Humans aren't tamed, they're secure. He stopped again, this time facing the entire assembly. They know that if diplomacy fails, if cooperation is rejected, if their peaceful overtures are met with aggression. Alpha 7's voice carried a note that made primitive fear centers activate across dozens of species. They have allies who never forgot how to hunt. Ambassador Chen smiled, and for the first time since humanity had joined galactic civilization, the expression carried an edge that reminded the assembly exactly what kind of world had produced the human race. The wolves have volunteered to serve as envoys, she explained calmly, to help you understand that Earth's predators weren't conquered by human civilization. We became part of it. Alpha 7 sat back on his haunches in a posture that somehow managed to be both respectful and threatening. So, honored counselors, shall we discuss the terms of humanity's continued cooperation with galactic civilization? The motion to reclassify humanity's diplomatic status passed unanimously.